Now, our next guest, believe it or not, started life as a sculptor, but went on to follow in his father's footsteps and become a baker. He has since become the UK's best-known artisan baker and has been a judge on the Great British Bake Off since it began in 2010.
It is, of course, Paul Hollywood. He joins us now to tell us more about the series, which has just ended, and his newest book entitled Pies and Puds. Good morning to you, Paul.
Good morning.
We have to talk about being a sculptor, because people don't know that about you.
No, I was in art school and I used to have really long hair. And my dad had a chain of bakeries up the East Coast, and he turned around to me and said, come and join the industry. I said, no. Then he offered me £500. I said yes. So I sort of joined the industry when I was, I think it was about 17, 18, and learnt from him, really. Learnt from the guys within his business.
Sorry, can you back up there a second? Chain of bakeries, how many would a chain be now?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, golden wooden spoon.
Yeah, but he was set up. He had a couple in Scotland, and then they were down Doncaster, Leeds, York, all the way down the East Coast.
Does that mean that you grew up surrounded by cakes and pies and baking?
Yeah.
But
When I used to go missing, apparently when I was about 4 or 5, I used to go missing. And I'd be downstairs when my dad had this single bakery in Liverpool. And I used to disappear downstairs. And I'd be sitting there talking to the girls behind the counter, scoffing my face with donuts and cream cakes. And
it's every kid's
you'd never know, would you?
It's every kid's dream, though. Your dad makes cakes and pies.
I mean, given the success that you had, I'm sure he's very proud. But there'd still be the old master baker. I mean, I don't know, is he still alive, by the way?
He is, yeah.
Yeah,
he's in
so
Spain.
how does he critique what you do?
He can't.
He can't?
No, I critique him.
Oh, really? Oh, you pup.
No, it's because...
Do you not show respect for the old fella?
No, it's because he stopped baking a long time ago. I've been baking probably twice as long as he has. He moved more into the management side, which is why he had so many shops.
So you just go, you're a good businessman, Dad,
yeah,
but
he
I'm
keeps
the
the
real
business,
baker.
I'll keep to the baking.
Oh.
Yeah, but who would have thought that you could make a staggering amount of money by making cakes and pies? Like selling them is one thing, but by making it your thing, like I guess it's an art form in a way.
It is. I mean, any form of baking. I mean, when I watch the guys in the tent do what they do, I mean, in the final this week, I mean, what Ruby and Kimberly did, and Frances, when they were doing all those delicate little baskets and making them look like a picnic basket, that's clever. I mean, that's really clever. Throughout the whole series, Frances in particular would create things which are works of art. I didn't want it what I did. I mean, I didn't want to eat them, but the flavours that she started getting right near the end, that's the time to get it right. I'm
staggered. No, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I watch the repeats in the afternoon. I'm staggered by the actual technical quality of what these normal, ordinary people are producing. I mean, they're doing it too. I mean,
the standard.
Yeah, if you produced, I don't know what the commie bakers or whatever it is, I don't know if you've got a school for it, but I mean, I would imagine if your pupils were producing stuff like that, you'd be very happy as a teacher.
Listen, there was a couple of them, I nearly said, do you want to come work for me? I mean, the thing is, this year more than any other year, it's got better and better and better. And the standard that we found in the auditions, they've just got better. They're almost borderline professional now before they've even started. I mean, I did the American Bake Off early this year over in the States. The standard there was equated to the first series of Great British Bake Off, which was okay. But compared with where we are now, it's a quantum leap, you know?
It's kind of rediscovered the world of baking and made it cool.
Yeah, it's quite cultish now in universities.
Yeah.
And kids come up to me as young as 6, 7 and go, oh, I love the Bake Off. And I'm going, really? You watching it? You should be in bed.
But they do a little junior one as well on the weekends for kids.
Yeah, that's just been done. It's coming out in November, but I couldn't do this year's.
Was it in danger of becoming a lost art?
Yes, it will. What happened is businesses, certainly around the UK, we were losing bakeries 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 a week. Now the net, we're actually gaining more bakeries than we're losing now for the first time in 20 years. So people have got to set their own little bakeries up at home, making muffins or whoopies or cakes or breads and selling them, to make money. And that's what it's all about.
And you've got a new book out as well, Paul, Pies and Puds, which pretty much does what it says on the tin.
Yes, I did a series called Bread earlier in the year, and this is the next step at Pies and Puds. I love Pies and Puds. We're coming into the winter now. There's nothing better than having an ale and steak pie at home with a great flaky top, and then afterwards having a bread and butter pudding.
There's a big difference there. The Irish and the English share so much in common. It's hard to separate us. The English obsession with pies is something that the Irish don't get.
We would be at the sweeter end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really have savoury pies so much here.
I mean, the kind of stuff you get in a football
steak and
match.
kidney pie or whatever.
It's not even a Scotch pie.
Pies are a very
Pork pie,
English
Scotch
thing.
Pie.
Scotch pie. It's a big thing in Scotland in the Celts. In the Celts, they love the Scotch pies.
They do it in
proper
batter?
beef. Oh, it's just. But handmade, all hot water crust pastry. It's the best.
You don't see it a lot in Ireland.
You will.
I don't.
We will now. Now Paul's in town.
I don't imagine that anybody, least of all you, could have anticipated what has happened to you in the last couple of years.
No.
And I'm sure you were kind of going, if somebody said to you in 2010, you're going to be blah, 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 you go, oh, Ron, bring it on. But with that comes all the other stuff as well. And you've been on the receiving end of that. So how has that been?
I mean, it's been okay. I've got used to it. I still can't get the fact that people know me. I still see major celebrities when I go backstage, and I'm like, I can't believe it. I've just been in the middle of doing Celebrity Bake Off. I've been asking for their autographs. I'm still in that zone, and I don't class myself as someone. All right, people know me, but I
but I mean, your life has now become the object of fascination.
Yes,
you're now on the front pages of the tabloids. I mean, even doing this series, and I have to say, there would want to be something wrong with you if you looked at Ruby and didn't fancy her, because she was absolutely beautiful. But suddenly it's all over the papers that you're favouring her, there's an affair, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, how do you deal with that?
I laugh it off because I knew what the result was going to be. So I was smiling to myself inside. I knew, I heard something that gone on, a journalist said, is there something going on between you and Ruby? I went, sorry? I pride myself in judging what's on the plate, which is why we have a technical challenge. So we don't know who we're picking. And don't forget, there's 2 judges there.
Yeah.
There's Mary Berry and me.
Well, maybe Mary fancied Ruby.
I'll tell her that. She'll be over here in a flash. You better be careful.
It goes to show the power of the programme, though.
Yes.
That there's so much print and so much writing and so much activity on social media about this controversy. It's a show about cakes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing.
Well, I mean, it's a show about breads as well.
Okay, I know you have a big thing for bread, but I would think it's baking as a whole.
Yes, I mean, I put it down to people getting very emotional about the bakers that they were supporting, whether it's Ruby, Kimberly, Becca. I mean, when Becca left in the quarterfinal, the amount of tweets that I got from pretty much Wales as a whole was unbelievable. You're favouring Ruby, she's won it, I don't know why we're bothering watching. But I knew it was going to happen, and I said, listen, we judge on taste. You can't taste you only judge on what you see. You can't taste it. Ruby nailed all her taste pretty much throughout the whole bake-off. The beauty of bake-off is you could win Star Baker every week, and in the final fail, you will lose bake-off.
Can you not tell by the end, though, who's making what? Because everyone has a baking style per se. No, you can't.
No, you can't, because we set the rules on what we want it to look like.
But each dish would have different ingredients, and so there's
not on the technical. Technical, everyone makes the same.
Yeah.
That's how we judge it. So we only judge what's on the plate. We don't know who made it, and that's the beauty of it.
Somebody's whistling at you there.
Edward Hayden left his phone on.
Speaking of the whistles, I mean, apart from everything else, Mr. Hollywood has become Mr. Holly Hunk. I mean,
the ladies love Paul.
They really do.
That makes me feel uncomfortable.
You are very handsome, in fairness.
I'm quite shy, actually.
I hate you, but you are.
Don't give me the shy shtick.
No, I am. I always have been. You ask my mum. My mum will tell you exactly. Out of all my brothers, I would be the least guy that goes in front.
Do you have better-looking brothers, Paul?
I've got really good-looking brothers.
Okay,
yeah.
Good to know.
They're younger than me as well.
Good to know. Younger as well. Fantastic. There we go.
And they're very rich. There's a huge chain of bakeries up and down the coast. Listen, thank you very much indeed. Wish you all the very best with that. Pies and Puds, and it's
there's
it's
a series coming out as well.
Yeah, BBC One. I've just finished the series. It starts in 2 weeks on the BBC.
Looking forward to that, Paul. Thank you so much.
Right.
Now, coming up, Paul's going to be staying with us because it's going to be Battle of the TV3 Chefs as the one and only Paul Hollywood puts Edward and Joe's treats to the test. Who will win? Now, we couldn't let a poll go before putting 2 of Ireland AM's chefs to the test. Edward Hayden and Joe Shannon join us now with their best baked offerings, which Paul is going to taste and judge. So, Paul, I know you want to speak to both gentlemen about what they've prepared, so go ahead.
So, okay, can you tell us about this, please? It looks a little bit like an opera cake.
It is, Paul, and I made it because I'm such a big fan of yours. I think you are so brilliant on the television and everything that it is unbelievable.
He wasn't saying that outside.
So, it is. This is a layer. So, what we have is a white chocolate and lime buttercream, as well as a dark chocolate and chili buttercream, finished with a ganache. And I made a little portion here for you just to have a little taste. Some raspberries just for a little garnish.
Why is there only 6 layers, not 7? Because it needs to have 7.
Because I made this especially for you. It's my own adaptation for yourself.
Where's the tempered chocolate?
It was there, but it took 3 hours up in the car.
I think I'll go and
It's got a nice flavour. I like the kick from the chili as well.
Okay.
Jacon sponge is a little bit dry, but let me try this.
Your sponge is dry, you're missing a layer, and there's no tempered chocolate.
Not a bad result.
Should I go now?
Run, Edward, run!
So I've done
Tell us about this. What have you made?
Yeah, I've done a kind of, I suppose, the showstopper from the show. So I've done a kind of a 2-tier white and dark chocolate cake, layered up all the way around, and it's 3 layers, and it's sandwiched together with homemade raspberry jam and a white chocolate buttercream.
The flavour's good. The only thing I'm not happy about the fact that you bought the biscuits. If you'd made the chocolate curls, I would have been more inclined to go for that. Because of that, I'm going to go with that.
Joe is the winner.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Which levels the score?
Thank you very much.
So it's 1-1 because
1-1, yeah.
John Roach chose you as winning, having won in the last one.
Master Chef, yeah.
Okay. Guys, well done.
Thank you.
God, you're very tough.
I'm honest.
All right, off.
You're very tough. I was like, ease up.
Great fun. I just have to have it.
I was feeling very protective over the lads. Paul, thank you so much for staying with us for that. Much appreciated. And of course, you can watch Paul's series and you can buy his book, Puds and Pies, or Pies and Puds?
Pies and Puds.
Pies and Puds, there we go. Now, coming